Welcome to the Throwdown, our mostly weekly segment where the Technodrome decides what is best, what is worst, who is right, and who is wrong. Now, gentlemen, our topic for this week, much like our topic a few weeks ago, was forgotten movies. This week is forgotten cartoons. Those shows that we grew up watching and suddenly we forgot about them. Nobody really knows when we mention them. You look them up. You happen to see a clip on YouTube. You say, "Oh wow, I remember that show." Oh, and you transport it back in time, and makes you want to watch it all over again. You might not remember that much about it, but you remember that you watched it a lot. And this is something that we might be able to roll into a full episode, but we'll see how it goes in this discussion. So I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, which I have up. Senor Duff, you're going to ring the gong.
I will.
And as you rang the gong, sir, Duff, you go.
Oh.
Give us a forgotten cartoon.
I'm going a little bit more. I mean, the general name of this one, everybody knows about. It's more of a mainstream one, but I feel like the old school version of this, the Hanna-Barbera version of this, I think it's referred to as a little Scooby-Doo action. The old school Scooby-Doo. I know they've made like some movies and stuff and some, live action, whatever stuff, but I'm talking about the old school, like, not any of the Scrappy-Doo either. Like, I'm talking just old school Scooby-Doo. Where are you? And I don't know. I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. It had like the cheesy, I want to say that was like 70s, wasn't it? Like late 70s and early 80s. Some of that earlier stuff, but it was always on when I was a kid.
Might have been late 60s.
Yeah, maybe it was even earlier than that. Yeah. But Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, like, all those, with the ass ascot. No.
Yeah. He had an ass.
All those meddling kids all the time, and it was always the same thing. And I don't know. I just always enjoyed it, even though Shaggy was most likely high as hell, and that's why he was always so hungry. And I guess he was getting Scooby-Doo high as well. But no, it was. I always enjoyed it. I watched it all the time, and and I feel like today it's just that would be something you'd show a kid, and they'd be like, "Really?"
Didn't Casey Kasem do Shaggy's voice at one point?
Casey Case, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with you there. Scooby-Doo was one of my favorites as a kid.
I love that
Definitely. One. It's a solid one. Mr. Scales, what you got?
Well, Duffy went the route of a dog-centric cartoon. I'm going to go with a cat-centric cartoon.
Cat dog.
Not cat dog.
Okay. I know where he's going.
I'm going further back in time. I'm going to Heathcliff.
Yes, I knew it.
Also known as Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats. One of my favorites when I was young.
Nice.
Heathcliff, no, I should terrorize the neighborhood.
Great theme song, right?
Yeah.
The voice of Heathcliff, one of the all-time legends, the man of 1,000 voices, Mel Blanc.
Oh, yeah, he did
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Barney Rubble. Going back and watching some Heathcliff clips today, and like, oh yeah, it's a dead ringer. It's the same voice as all those. Like you could.
I never realized that.
Yeah, cool. You go back and watch it. Yeah, but Heathcliff, just one of my favorites is with the hijinks of this little alley cat and all the the other. I guess they'd split the episode into 2 parts, and there was the other cat Riff Raff that had the little French hat. And it was always after Cleo, the female one, and he had the 3 friends. They'd hang out in the junkyard.
They were like enemies, right?
Well, I thought so, but
was
then
there Cat Mongo or Mondo?
Yeah. There was the purple one, and then there was like a grayish one. But apparently, Heathcliff and Riff Raff never interacted in the show, only in the intro to the show, which I thought was strange.
Maybe they're one and the same.
It could be alter egos.
Was Heathcliff a pet cat?
Little Men in Black action. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head the rest of the night now.
You're welcome.
So yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right, mine is Widget the World Watcher. Do you guys remember this at all?
Nope.
So this was one of those shows. You remember that when we were young, late 80s, early 90s, conservationism and taking care of the earth was starting to be really big. You had shows like Captain Planet. This was kind of one of those. Widget the World Watcher, he comes from, they said, the Orion constellation, and there's a shot of the Horsehead Nebula. So it's like I was learning these things just by osmosis from cartoons.
Say
like,
nebula, nebular.
No, not Nebular.
Okay.
But like I knew the Horsehead Nebula from that, and I remember when you go to commercial breaks, it was like pulsing pulsars and quaking quasars. I'll be right back. So when I heard those terms later on, I was like, I know what that is from Widget. But it was this little purple guy who came from another galaxy, and he's part of a race that were the World Watchers that were tried to keep everything like clean and like they're basically do-gooders in the galaxy.
Nice.
And he comes to Earth kind of by accident, but he ends up saving some whales. I think he could shapeshift. It's pretty crazy and it's very preachy, but it's good. Great theme song. You should really look that up on YouTube. And then the voice talents, you had Russie Taylor. So I don't know if you know her name, but she was Gonzo in Muppet Babies and a bunch of other roles. Jim Cummings, who was pretty much everybody, but Tigger, Monterey Jack from Chippendale, and Kath Soucie, who was Phil and Lil and Betty DeVille from Rugrats.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, so talented cast.
Yeah.
One funny thing I remember from the show, our timer just ran up, so I'll put it on the clock and I'll just mention this after. So to be continued on that, but I'll throw it back to Scales. Anything else you want to mention that we talked about or honorable mentions?
Yeah, I mean Scooby-Doo, good pick, Duffy. I remember more of the Scrappy-Doo version. I don't think I was. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Scrappy's annoying.
Yeah, he is
a little too much. That was his nephew, right?
Let me at him.
I don't think I got into the older Scooby-Doo for whatever reason when I was little, but it's a good pick nonetheless. Obviously, it's an all-time.
Well, we had a pup named Scooby-Doo when we were younger. That's what the cartoon that was out like contemporary when we were kids.
Yes. I don't know. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot more cartoons I can think of that, as we're talking right now, just popped into my head.
Oh, wait, hang on. I thought you were saying. I thought he was saying he really had a puppy named Scooby-Doo. You're talking about a show?
No, the show.
The show, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, cool.
Come on.
He had a pup.
Scooby-Doo wasn't doing that. I don't think he was married or anything. Come on now.
Do you remember that show, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo?
I do.
The name sounds familiar, yeah.
I'll send you, or maybe we'll put it up on the TikTok or something.
On the TikTok.
Yeah.
On the
TikTok.
Duff, what you got?
No, I was just saying that, as we were talking here, I had a lot of other cartoons kind of rush back into my mind. So I think we could easily probably get a whole episode out of this. A lot of stuff that, coming home from school, like, again, it's the general theme. You're coming home from school, you're turning on the TV, and, other than Nickelodeon, which we definitely discussed in length, there's a lot of other cartoons out there that, we watched. A lot of them with catchy tunes and intros and stuff. And yeah, it's all just kind of flooding back in my mind. So I say we revisit this.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned coming home from school. My cartoon was actually a watch it before school one.
Ooh,
and one of my
that's just crazy.
One of my other choices.
You got to wake up early.
Yeah, well, and I had to wake up early to get to school, so we could go and not talk at lunch. But yeah, that and there was another choice I had that I almost picked that was a before school one. What I remembered about Widget that I didn't remember where it came from. Just one quick aside. There was this guy who pretended to be a good scientist, and he was like put together and he was cleaning up toxic waste barrels and he was turning it into clean water. And then when he's done talking to the crowd, he goes backstage and messes up his hair. He goes like starts laughing. Like,
oh my God.
And he's apparently just dumping the toxins back in the ocean. But I just remember that thing. It was like, the professor, and then like actually went like messed his hair up and then like got crazy and started laughing and just crazy laugh. That episode's not on YouTube. It kills me, but I want to show you. Oh man.
Oh well.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely something we could revisit because if you've forgotten a cartoon, you could probably only really talk about each for 5 minutes. And if we get enough of them, we get a full episode. So, hey, look at us.
How about that?
What?
Math. We got a math major.
We do. Just don't let them figure out the tip on your bill.
Sorry, Peter Luger.
Oops. But that's it for this week. So please like this episode and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can be told whenever we put out new content, which is at least weekly and usually more than that. We got plenty coming up. But yeah, let us know what some of your favorite forgotten cartoons were. Let us know if you remember the ones that we talked about and how much you like them. And please follow us on social media. We are Throwbacks Technodrome Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, have a good one. We'll see you then.
Bye.